What's up, man? It's your boy Rhino the Truth. I'm here to talk about this racism. Really, it came from slavery, but we're gonna get to that. It started from slavery. See, slavery always been here, like even from the Egyptians, you hear me? They had slavery everywhere, but it was a certain, if it's even in the Bible, you know, I'm gonna take you out today in a minute. It's a certain way you treat your slaves, you hear me? You're supposed to have them work for you, you're supposed to feed them right, bathe them right, don't work them too hard, and then when that time done, you let them go, or you can marry them in their family, in your family, if y'all cool or whatever. That's how it's supposed to be. So like I was saying, slavery always been here. The prejudice shit came here like when them Caucasians had made slavery and they took it to a whole nother level, you hear me? Just like when they bought us, we were sold into slavery for once. They bought us from our own people, but we thought it was cool because slavery really wasn't a big deal. You know, it was slavery back in the day. That's how we controlled people. I ain't gonna say control, but that's how they taught. It was a whole nother mind thing they had with slavery because people were so dumb back in the day. So anyway, they sold them to the Caucasians, you hear me? They ain't know the Caucasians had a whole big old plan because they came across this Willie Lynch manuscript, you hear me? And fuck you, Willie Lynch. You fucking reason slavery and this shit came so cruel and brutal. But anyway, so you know, they came across the Willie manuscript and they want to make some colonies, you hear me? Met it with the Frenchmen, and y'all do your own history, educate your own self, but it goes farther and deeper. So they came across the Willie manuscript and he was like, if you want to keep a slave or somebody, a slave skirt you for years and years, you take the kids and kill them in front of the parents and kill the fathers in front of the mother, and it be in our blood, in our mind forever that to be scared of these hunky motherfuckers because how they did us, you hear me? So as they slave us, brought us here, they did us so wrong, you hear me? Just talking about wrong. Y'all know how y'all did us. So it was in a mental thing that how they have us. So they couldn't hold us for too long, you know? So they had to let us go one day. They knew they had to do it, so they took the shackles off our feet. Then they put it on our mind and our soul by this racism shit, by we gonna call them niggas, they below us, you hear me, for the job and economies and all that shit, you hear me? They knew what they was doing. It was a smart, sick breed plan, you know? And like I said, slavery always been here, but if we would have did it first, it's really, they did it first and worse, you know? If we would have did it and ran across that Willie manual shit, I don't even think we would have did it, you hear me? We would probably just left their ass in the mountains, Caucasian Mountain, because that's where they came from, the mountains. And then if you really do your research and educate yourself and go read up the 48 laws, you hear me? Read up Marcus Garvey, you hear me? This dude right here tell you everything. Read up 48 laws. Read up the UCCW, Universal Commercial Code. You hear me, man? It's some deep shit, you hear me? It's a real sick genius plan, you hear me? They just did it first and did it worse. So educate yourself, but then I'm gonna take it back to the Bible, because the Bible tell you all that's gonna happen. A lot of people be like, oh, I don't believe in that, you know, they slaved us and gave us this book. That book is true, you hear me? And I believe what you're saying too. They gave us this book, painted this white guy, you hear me? And then the Bible says feet like brass, hair like wool. You know, he wasn't a beautiful man. He had a low appearance, you hear me, to have this struggle and feel this pain. Went through everything a human can go through just to show us we can do it. He didn't eat for 40 days, so it shows us we can do all that shit Jesus did. We just ain't got the mental power and shit no more, because they stripped all of that from us, you hear me, by putting all this toxins and drugs and shit, because they couldn't do it, you hear me? And then I'm gonna take you back, like I said, the white motherfuckers, it wasn't no white people. You hear me? They was created and made like that when they went to the mountains, and then they lived like that, but they was black. It wasn't no white people. You hear me? They were all black. This skin, this melanin that's in our body, this brown tone skin, you hear me? That was a blessing. You hear me? This thing is very precious. It don't cracks. It don't do none of that. You hear me? We can make white shit, you know, but you can't no white motherfucker without this melanin in it and this shit no more in your skin. You can't make black. It's like it's like getting a bucket of white paint and then you drop one dot of black in there and it's gonna turn black. It's gonna turn that color. So it's destined to happen. So that's why they motherfuckers hate, but all along they don't know they used to be black. You hear me? So do your history. Don't know who you hate and why you hate. You know, it's just in y'all, because this melanin in our skin, this right here, makes us strong. You hear me? Give us that wisdom and that power that we can use to possess, but we lost it because you motherfuckers found the way how to strip us from it. You know? Do your history, man. Some real shit. I'm gonna get back to Revelation, you hear me, like the end of the times right now, man. Motherfuckers think all this death and shit is a coincidence. No, it's in the Bible. You can read it right now, you hear me? When he said the 144,000 have to come with him, a lot of people want to die. He need them angels, because this battle was fit to come, you hear me? All this Republican shit with Donald Trump, man, them fucking demons and devils is getting ready to let y'all see some real shit that's for the crack. And then when they do go down, that's when he gonna come, you hear me? He said, Jesus coming back. He said, I'm coming for blood. You hear me? He coming with some soldiers that's finna go down. There ain't gonna be no, oh, Jesus here. And he say, no, it's finna be a war because Satan is coming back. He's here, but he's finna show himself. He been here all along. You hear me? With this Hollywood shit distracting us. Like he said, don't watch the TV. Don't praise all that shit that can be destroyed, but praise something that can't be destroyed, which is the spirit. But we lost contact of it because them motherfucking crackers been lost that, you hear me? And they was weak without this melanin. They was weak, so them demons was easy to get in their body and manipulate them. You hear me? That's why they call them white devils. That shit is real. It ain't just no old white devil because of skin color. No, that shit was real. They were weak. He came to them and he gave them that power. They didn't have no power. They only like what, a third of the population or some shit. So he gave them that power, that gunpowder, that fucking black magic shit, all that bullshit. You hear me? And they ran with it. But in the Bible again, you hear me? You walk on. You say you start off in the beginning. What he say? Oh, at the end you walk on gold, man. Oh, I got a brain freeze. Educate yourself, man. Read this nigga right here. This Morgan Gorman, this guy right here. This dude right here, fuck your head up. You gotta have a Bible. I know a lot of people don't believe you, but you gotta get an old Bible. You're gonna get an old Bible. They ain't gonna get it the source, you hear me? And go through that shit and educate yourself. Because when he said he coming, you'll never know the sign. He said when he come, you won't know, but you better be ready. You hear me? And you don't want motherfuckers like him off. A lot of people dying and they ain't ready. You don't know if they said their last prayer. You don't know what's going on. So I always say a prayer for my family or myself before I leave this door. When I wake up, I pray and talk all the time to God just for no reason. You hear me? Or his name or whoever he might be. I call him the creator and his helper. Because they gave us just Jesus' name and all this other stuff. I don't believe in that. It's like you enslave us and you did this smart, sick plan, and then you gave us this book and said, here, this is white is pure, our God, your God is white, and everything is white, and dark, black is dark, is negative, and it's evil, and all this shit. That was a sick, genius plan. So, of course, all we know is what you gave us this book, but you took out the truth, you hear me? And left a little, and that's what's so crazy. The shit is right here between us, you hear me? But we don't want to read, and then it goes back to when they took the books. They didn't give us no education. They wanted us to be dumb because they knew it was a time they gonna have to let us go, but they made a sick plan to uneducate us, you hear me? Turn us against each other, so we already don't know how to read. They ain't gonna give us no jobs and shit, so the only thing we know how to do is sell these drugs and the poison that they put in the hood. You dig? Man, educate yourself, you hear me? Because they calling us niggas, or we act crazy, we killing each other. Yeah, that's true, but that's all we know. You're not gonna give us no chance. We can stand up and vote and do all that shit. That's why I'm with that rebel shit, man. Fuck them. What if we turn over some stones and start killing y'all ass? You hear me? And then, oh, we wrong. We wrong now. Fuck out of here, man. Y'all better wake up and educate yourself. Marcus Garvey, I'm telling you. 48 laws. Martial law coming, you hear me? New world order. Boy, right, know the truth, you hear me? Fuck you if you don't agree.